Wednesday. It's Chris and Ken here. Today we're going to be talking about Moonbirds,
You
Moonbirds,
moonbirds.
Moonbirds. They're making a comeback.
Boomers.
They're going to be on chain, which is huge news. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes and even look at some of the technicals. And then oddities in the last 2 weeks, 2x. We were looking at them on this show at zero point 0.8. They were at 2.4 as of yesterday's show. I think they had like a slight retracement since then. Either way, oddities are doing fantastic. As always, these are brought to you by Ninjalerts. Ninjalerts is an NFT that you can purchase that grants you lifetime access to the app that allows you to track your favorite whales, influencers, and friends. Anytime they make a trade, they mint something, or they sell something, you get a smart notification sent to the device that you're using. Most conveniently, usually a cell phone. Without further ado, good morning, Ken. How's it going today?
Oh, I'm doing great today, Chris. How are you? It's been a great day so far.
Good, man. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I am profitable from a trade last night. I haven't sold yet. I don't mean
Oh,
to
really?
brag or any.
Wait,
I don't mean to
no,
brag or
no, you
anything, man.
can't. How you
Oh,
profitable if you haven't sold, huh?
well, I'm in profit. That's what I meant to say. I don't mean to brag or
Oh,
anything. Let me
okay, okay.
you
Not
want me to pull
realized,
it up?
huh? Not
Yeah, not
realized.
not realized, and it looks like it's going down fast, and I don't know if it will be realized. All right,
Well, what
you.
are you talking about?
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like you're gonna make fun of me when I pull it up on
Did
the
you buy it
screen,
with your
man.
other wallets or what?
Yeah,
Like I
I
haven't
bought
looked
my
at my
other
Ninja.
wallet.
That's why I knew I didn't get no
Yeah, I
ping
bought
from
my
you.
other
I was like,
wallet, man.
all right, what
I
you
don't know
got?
about
What you got,
I don't
though?
know about to show you, man. I feel like you're gonna give
Yeah,
me a hard
you now you
time.
got it. Now you
Uh,
got to, man. Now
oh
you got
man,
to
look.
show,
Well,
man.
this is the next blue chip project right here. I'm sure you saw it on your Ninja Alerts feed last night. It's Vitalik pumps, baby.
Oh my god.
Bro, I saw this and like
Oh my god.
they actually got like properties like I don't know, some of them were funny. I can't believe they already released this thing, man. I hope
Why do
YouTube
you
doesn't.
still hold this?
Blue chip, bro. This is our founder. This is the guy who's holding up our single-handedly our ETH bags.
Oh, how's he holding it up, Chris?
Yeah, you know
uh,
exactly.
how's he holding up your bags, Chris? Are you comfortable with
Oh,
this? Huh? You
hey
comfortable
man,
that this is
I
how
bought
he's holding up your bags?
I bought in when there was like 14 ETH volume or something. It might have been more than that, and it pumped pretty hard last night, man.
Uh,
But
what do you
I
pump up
may
to?
claim your airdrop, bro. I um I think it got to like point oh 0.03, point oh 0.04. I didn't list though. I made the mistake of not listing before I went to sleep because I got greedy. I was like,
That's a big
I was
mistake.
like, I want to wake up to like a point oh 0.06 floor, so I'm just gonna like hold or whatever. So it's pretty much around where I bought it right now. But we'll see if there's another surge.
Vitalik pumps.
But
Oh my god. I can't believe you bought
yeah,
this,
dude,
man. That you got
I know,
no
man.
boundaries, man. You buy anything.
That's
Wow.
why
I
it's in
can't
my
believe you say you
why
was
it's in
in
my hidden
profit.
wallet. That's why it's in
I
my hidden wallet, bro.
I'm
It's
gonna
in
find
profit.
it, Chris. I'm gonna find that wallet and I'm gonna get a ping for it every time you
Oh
make
man,
these
it's
kind of
bad,
moves,
dude.
man.
That's all. That's the only
Yeah.
moves I make in this wallet. That's why I don't publicize it.
Yeah, it's
But
terrible. Wow. I can't believe let me
yeah,
see that
man,
one right there with that beanie.
the
The
beanie.
one right
Where?
up,
Uh,
up, up more. I think you
you
just
like the
passed
beanie
it.
one?
Yeah, to the right.
ETH meth. It says ETH.
Woo. Oh, that's what that says?
Yeah, it says ETH.
Oh my god, man. And I can't believe you
um,
bought this, man. That's so
yeah,
weird.
bro. In other news, relevant to our topic today, I thought this was funny. You probably won't find it as funny. You know how we talked about yesterday how Instagram or Meta is allowing NFTs now, okay? So
Hmm.
finally, as of yesterday, I got the capability to connect a wallet to Instagram. So I decided, because there's nobody on Instagram that cares about NFTs. So a relevant topic, I decided to show Instagram my Moonbird. I said my Moonbird, and nobody on Instagram knows the difference.
Oh, really? Is
Yeah,
that
man.
what they're saying right now? Or
No, I'm just saying, like it's people on Instagram don't know NFTs, so to them, I'm just gonna flex my Moonbird until people actually come over there that knows what it is.
so you want to get the clout of having the moonbird,
Yeah,
but you
absolutely.
don't.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I
You
do. It's
have a
CCO'd,
turd
so
bird.
it's
It
basically a
is
Moonbird,
nah, bro.
but it does have
Nah.
the it does have like the little digital collectibles tab on Instagram now. I went ahead and connected up also another burner wallet to it. And yeah,
Oh,
I
so you
thought it
can
was
have
pretty cool.
multiple wallets on the same account?
Y- yeah, you can connect Instagram to multiple wallets. If you're holding your phone and you're looking at this, it looks a lot better than on computer. It has like a
Hmm.
glare to it that verifies that it's an NFT, and like if you like move
Okay.
your phone, it like shines like certain ways.
Like a
So
hologram?
yeah, it's like a hologram kind of. It's the first time Instagram has done something like that. It's pretty cool. I feel like all jokes aside, because like obviously I'm screwing around about this Moonbird. I feel like it's gonna be a good thing for NFTs. Like people are gonna see NFTs on Instagram more often, and they're gonna see that they look different than if you screenshotted them. Because if you screenshot them, they're gonna look like this, but they're gonna have that little digital collectibles tab, and then they're
Oh,
gonna have
yeah, I see
the
it.
shininess.
I just looked on your on my phone. I looked
Yeah,
at your
it's
Instagram.
pretty
It's
cool,
it's kind of,
honestly.
yeah.
I'll
Yeah, it's
probably send
alright,
some like
bro.
legit. I'll probably send
It's
some
not
better
that cool.
projects over there. Well,
It's not that
it's just
cool at
another
all.
it's another step towards adoption. But anyways, back to the bigger news, and we'll go ahead and bring up our special guest to talk about it. Moonbirds is moving on chain. He's been on the channel a couple times, so I'm excited to have him back as always. One of our favorite guests on the show, personally,
Yes,
anyways.
indeed.
Uh, Give him a
Yes,
warm
indeed.
welcome. What's up today, JJ? How's it going today, man?
Hey, we got JJ back in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome back, JJ. How you doing?
I
I
can't
think your
can't hear you.
audio.
Make sure that
You gotta
Yo,
connect
what's
your
up?
audio.
thank
How you
Hey,
you.
there
guys
you
doing?
go. You were doing good, JJ. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I mean, I was doing better till you started fighting my 3D birds, man. Come on. What's up with that?
I
Oh,
forgot
you
you own.
hold those?
I forgot you own some.
Dude, they're straight in my hidden, but like I remember them like once every 2 days when I list one, just to recover some gas money, you know?
You know what I've been doing with them, JJ?
What's up?
I'm super like cautious about stuff. So like you know how like you send like a small transaction before you send a bigger transaction?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll send one of the 3D birds as a test to make sure it's going to the right wallet before before I send a real NFT to it.
Hey, man, they're like $6, you know?
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
can't complain. That's like what a lot of the flippers are cooking these days is those $5 cooks, but like at 100 times volume or 200 times volume.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, honestly.
it,
Chris didn't get the memo though. He bought one and tried to thought it was gonna go
oh,
to the moon.
I
Oh
thought
no,
they were
dude! I
going
bought
to the
like
moon,
six.
bro.
I bought six. I spent
Oh,
like
you bought six.
yeah, I bought.
Oh my
I mean, for
god.
me, that's a decent amount. Like, yeah, I
Rest in
bought six
peace,
of them.
Chris.
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
I think I spent point one on them.
Dude, I must
Uh,
have bought like 40 of them, I think.
Oh
So
no!
Jeez.
yeah, took a big loss on that like a couple months ago. But it
They
was funny
darted.
though.
They
Yeah.
darted, bro. Like the people, the artists, the art. Like they really focused on it. They launched the project, and then they said, "Ah, we're gonna take a break. We're worn out," and then they disappeared. So there's like nothing like else.
Yeah,
But
I was like Chris with his Vitalics, I was like, yo, I'm
Oh
in
no.
profit. The floor is like 0.04, and then they just kind of died after that. But I don't know these Vitalik pumps, they could get traction. But
did
The
you buy
kapump?
any?
yeah, I mean, I'll admit to everybody, I am so bad with like CCO stuff, like Goblin Town, you know, all that kind of thing. Cryptodes, like it just doesn't make sense to me. That's the kind of person I am. But I know like others that like that stuff and they do well with that stuff, and they like the Vitalics. So I don't know what to tell you. So
Did you buy any of the
Uh,
Vitalics?
no, no, no. I try to
he's
I
a
try to
smart
stay
man,
away.
Chris.
But
You-
they're funny.
Dude, they
They
actually had like their traits were actually funny. Like I wasn't gonna like dive too far in on this like video, but like if you go look at the traits, they're actually pretty freaking funny. They're like I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want YouTube to flag us or whatever, but that it's pretty
yeah,
funny
but
properties.
Risky did ask a question that I actually did want to talk about. I did see
Mm.
you've been making a lot of moves, JJ, in the last couple of days because I follow you and I've been getting pings after pings all of a sudden, and you went ham on the Phoenix. Like you bought over, what was that, 40?
Yeah, I bought 34 to start, and that's kind of something I wanted to talk about today. Was pseudo pools, right? Pseudo swap. So I'm sure you guys have heard
Mm-hmm.
of pseudo
Mm.
swap, and
Yes.
I've been kind of absent for the past 2 months, just touching grass and trying
Living
to
life.
waiting for ETH to go lower, because definitely sold too low, but you I'll probably get back in soon. But been in the swing of things the last week or two. So yeah, that wasn't a DCA. I think Ninjalerts shows like when you withdraw from your pool as a big buy. So
Yeah, you had a big buy,
probably
two
got to
big
talk
buys.
to probably got to talk to like Trevor about that to change because I know SudoSwap's messing up all the data sites and whatever. But yeah, I bought 34 of those at around 0.09, and then I just pulled it, man. Like, I saw the volume was super high, and I just wanted to get fees on the volume. So, that turned out pretty well for me. Didn't exit as fast as I wanted to. I woke up a bit too late this morning, but hey,
You're
it's good
exiting
profit,
right now.
Yeah.
As
So,
we speak. You're exiting right now.
but
Yeah,
He is.
yeah,
That's funny, dude. I
so
gotta pull that up.
yeah, you've been very, very active. The Phoenix. Hold on, you got no. You bought a lot more than 30. You
no,
meant
no.
you.
Yeah. So I
Oh,
minted three, and then I sold them because I was like, whatever, I don't know what these are. And then I saw the volume, and I was like, wait a minute, let me get back in this and pull this. So my goal was just to kind of get fees on the pool and try to play this reveal. So I'm still there's still a play in this for me, just because I think they go on sale in like 3 hours to the ones that didn't get to mint, like the Soul and the credit card
mm,
wallets. So that's kind of why I think it's kind of dumping right now because people are trying to get out ahead of time of that. So I'm probably gonna set up a pool once it gets close to that time and try to catch those people that are just trying to dump it. But
oh,
yeah,
okay.
so
Wait. Oh,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, SudoSwap shows like when you withdraw the NFTs from your pool as like buys. So
Yeah, zero buy
Mm.
like sappy
yeah,
seals. I just saw on your thing.
yeah.
The,
So it's a bug there. It's not really a buy. It's like I'm just taking it out of my pool, and transferring it to my
Can you
mm,
wallet.
ex- can you explain to a noob like what you mean by pool? Like, I've never pulled NFTs before.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever pulled tokens before, like a
Yeah, yeah,
liquidity
I have.
pool?
I have with I
Yeah,
have with regular tokens.
Yeah, so it's basically that. I mean, it's just SudoSwap created their marketplace platform, and it's providing liquidity to NFTs. So you can either just sell NFTs or buy NFTs just like normal, and set up pools to do it, which is kind of different than normal. Kind of DCA in or ladder out, right?
Yeah,
Um, in the single side position, but you can also set a liquidity pool position, which would be an NFT and ETH pair, right? So you
yeah.
can basically become the collection in that way, right? You set
Mm.
a creator fee, or sorry, you set a collection fee, which you take for every trade, and then you can set the range that you want it to trade in. So it'll buy and sell based on whoever is dumping or buying from SudoSwap.
Okay, yeah, because I watch I try to follow your moves on familiars, and I didn't really understand what was going on because like when I was looking at the wallet, it looked like you just like sent it to another wallet. But I'm assuming you pulled those familiars. You kind of did the
Yeah.
same thing with those. Okay,
So when
that
you
makes more
pull it,
sense because that was a little confusing to me the way that it looked like, or the way that it looked.
yeah, yeah. So when you pull it, it creates a new contract, right? And that contract is creating that wallet as well. And so that's where the transfers come in, right? That you saw, like it goes
Mm.
to that wallet, and then you get buys and sells from that wallet, and then
Okay,
at the end of it, you just pull it all out. So yeah, Familiars was the one that I kind of experimented with. That went really well. Set
good,
up kind of a wide range pool and really capitalized on the action both ways, right? So
cool.
I like. Good. Sorry.
No, I was just saying cool. Like that, I've never personally dabbled in it before with
Yeah,
NFTs.
I've been shouting it from like the rooftops of every group I'm in. Like,
really?
don't fade SudoSwap, man. It's already making up like 15 to 20% of OpenSea volume, and it's integrated with gems, so you got to use it. I mean, potential airdrop down the line, you never know. Like,
True. Yeah.
nothing confirmed, but you know, when you use ENS, for example, and you made a bunch of ENS names, they gave you an airdrop. So those are always the ones where, if you can try to farm those in advance, like you might as well try it.
Okay, definitely will. So, how does the royalties work? Because I know that was a big topic, like maybe two
Yeah,
weeks ago when it was introduced. How they don't want to give royalties to the creators. Um, how does that work out on
yeah.
SudoSwap?
So that's kind of still jury's out on that issue because, the only fees that are taken from the platform are the 0.5% that goes to SudoSwap, and then whatever fees that you set, so nothing goes to the creator. And, you know, you saw that FUD on Twitter about it, and I don't think it's resolved yet, right? Because I kind of agree with it and I kind of disagree with it as well. Like, there's definitely projects where they don't deserve the royalties. They don't do much. Made um they made a project they're
Vitalik
not doing
pumps.
with it.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Don't flood my bag, sir.
Cool pets, right? Like cool pets. Like they don't deserve shit. But you know,
Oh shit!
like I don't blame them. Sometimes it's okay to take it out of the creator's hands, right? But then you got your artists, and you can argue whether or not like the art should be, they should get royalties for their art. And I think what's going to happen is, in the future, it's going to become gated utility behind like if you allow royalties or not. Like if they artist identifies you as one that sells OTC, like they probably just like blacklist you from any utility from their art. So it'll be interesting to see how it evolves, right? Because I think that this is good for the space. Increased liquidity on collections. The more people that use it, the better. Because then if you just want to get out of your cool pets or whatever, and then rotate into something else, you can just go to SudoSwap and then just sell them, you know. And the over time, the difference between the offer floor there and the floor on like OpenSea will be pretty tight. The more people that use it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely gotta hop on that and just in case they do an airdrop, just so just so I get something in the future, man. Because in this space, again, you never know, man. Because we're still waiting on MetaMask to give us an airdrop,
Man,
man.
shit, we're waiting
Is
on
that ever
that.
coming?
I don't know. I hope so. I mean, I think everyone's hoping so. That's the stimmy we need, right? You get another
Yes.
bull run after that.
Oh
Hey,
yes. Oh
JJ,
yes.
if it's too big of an ask, obviously, like it's not a big deal. Risky asked earlier, I didn't even see. Is there a way you could show us how the pools look on like if you're staking the NFT, or if you're pooling NFTs on SudoSwap from like your view, or would that be too much? It's okay if
Yeah,
it's too
yeah.
much.
Let me see. I don't have a poll open right now, but I think I had
Oh,
some
okay, got you.
screenshots.
Okay.
So let me take a look.
Yeah, like I said, I've just never. I think like a
Yeah.
year ago at this time, I might have pulled like one NFT. It
Hmm.
wasn't like my pool though. Like it was like a. I don't know if it was much different than staking. Like I sent it to a contract and whatever. I could pull another one out.
Hmm.
But I don't. I've never seen it with like multiples.
Like, how's it like?
Yeah,
Is that comparable to NFTX?
yeah. So it's a little similar to that, right? NFTX and NFT 20. I think those are the two main ones, but they use like fractional tokens, right? And that way, like 5 hundredths of an ape equals this amount of ETH or whatever. And that way you can kind of provide liquidity, kind of same concept there. Now, what's different with this is you put the NFTs up with ETH, or you can put NFTs separate or ETH separate to buy NFTs. And then like it'll kind of auto market make for you. So um, rather than like the price changing by the NFT 20 or NFTX kind of like slippage and formula in that pool, it's based on whatever you set it at, right? So you set your ranges for where you want to sell your NFTs or where you want to buy them, as opposed to with those where it's kind of automatically done through however much their token is worth, right? Um, so let me share my
I need.
screen.
I
Oh,
need a
sorry.
JJ boot camp, man. Like if there's ever like another IRL meetup, like I want to
Yeah, you didn't
Jane.
go,
I
Chris.
want a
Yeah, you
JJ
didn't
boot
come with
camp
us,
straight.
man. We
I
had
know,
fun.
right?
Yeah.
Twice.
Hey, man. Look, you guys need to go a little further down south. That way I can like, meet you
Oh, we
halfway.
gotta come to you,
Well,
is what you're
yeah, kid
saying.
got to walk to the last meetup basically. So
And
I would have
not
had
the
to
one in
I would
LA.
have had to I would have had to fly across the country. Yeah, that's true.
Not,
You had to go far on it. But things were better at LA. We're in a bull market. You probably had ETH just like you didn't even know what to do with your ETH. So you're probably just like cashing out,
oh
buying
yeah,
random stuff.
life was good.
Yeah, life was good, man.
Life was good. Not
Dude, it
anymore though.
was. Yeah,
The only
we
reason I
had
didn't
the.
do LA was because of I just had my second kid.
That's
So that
right.
wasn't
That's
like the
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are
And
they doing?
Chris, we both live on this coast, Chris.
Yeah. So
Y-
I'm gonna show you what it looks like. I don't have an open pool right now, but let's say you put ETH, and then I'll just choose a random NFT like 3D birds, right? So
That's a
this
good
is what
one.
it looks like. It looks a lot scarier than it actually is. But the cool thing about this is you can adjust it as you go. So like if you fuck something up, you're not finding that you're getting a lot of volume traded in your pool, like you can just pay the gas fee and adjust it on the fly, right? So over here you set your fee amount. So I'm not gonna actually make this pool, but like let's say like
what do you
um,
usually set? Like, what's a good range for you?
yeah, so it depends on the floor of the NFT, right? The higher the floor, the lower fee you want to put, and then vice versa. So anything under like point 0.1, I've been doing generally like between 5 and 7.5%, and between like point 0.5 and up, I'll probably do 5% and less, right? And then kind of, it's more of an art than a science. And if they have royalties on OpenSea, like high ones, you can kind of bump up your fees as well to kind of match that, right? And get margin there. So
I was literally doing that with my coffee business today because I have to go up due to inflation and I haven't went up
mhm.
in years. So I was trying to like compare prices, based on like other shops. So this is kind of the same thing, but like with your NFT pool.
Man, you haven't raised your prices in years. Damn.
Years,
I
man.
know,
Yeah,
right? It's like
I know.
Costco,
Yeah,
Bro, I
I
the
got my
mean,
hot
customer
dogs.
my customer base, man. Like some people will see a 20 cent difference and never come back. So like it's a
Damn.
like is it a hill that I want to die on, kind of thing. Like, do I want to try to increase volume or prices? Like which one's going to be better yield at the end of the day? It's kind of
Prices,
exactly,
bro.
bro.
prices. Yeah.
No,
Raise them up.
but
Get
that
them out of
mindset,
here.
right? That mindset is exactly what you want to think of when you're doing this. So like, do you want more volume, or do you want to try to capture more tops and earn fees at the
Yes.
same time, right? And it's going to depend collection to collection. I'd say with I try to pull things that I think will have a longer a longer period of volume, or at least
Mhm.
like not brick completely, like phoenixes for example. Like they're bricking now, but that version of brick is like still way above mint price, right? And
Yeah.
kind of even to where I bought minus royalties. So that's like a good one to pull. And like other ones are probably like things that you see like getting traction on crypto Twitter, like pudgies, if you could have caught that
Yes.
early.
Sappy seals.
Sappy seals, like if you could have pulled those up.
Vitalik
Then
pumped.
yeah, Vitalik Bud.
This guy, man. You just gonna try to pump that metallic, huh?
Yeah.
It's already pumped, bro.
So with that in mind, right? Like first you got to determine like what's your time range, right? Like if it's a short pool, like you probably want to just jack up the fees and then set a super tight range, and then you try to maximize like that initial volume, like you see it pop up on nerds, and then you just want to get in and get out, right? And while trying to maximize the fees. So let's say with these, like imagine a world where the floor is zero point zero 0.05 for these 3D birds, right? I'll be so happy if that comes true. But
Woo, me too, bro. I'd be so happy.
so there's two options here, right? Like the linear curve, which you can just do like a linear increase in ETH. So let's say I'll sell up to, I don't even know how many I have now, but I'll just say 20, and then you want to DCA down, right? So I'll do the DCA down after I kind of adjust these numbers, because I want to target bottom of a range where I think like that's where I'm comfortable buying, and just buy up to however many that is, right? So like for example, if it was these phoenixes later on when we have that dump coming, like I'll probably set up a poll like, all right, I want to buy as low as 0.06, right? And so whatever takes me to that range, um, with while still maintaining a good curve, like I'll do it that way, right? So you can do linear curve, which will increase, right?
Mm.
Over time. Wait, let me do
Mm.
0.01 like 0.0055.
Oh,
Right.
now you're being realistic.
Yeah, yeah. So, it's gonna adjust the price up and down, right? Like 0.085, 0.09, 0.095, 0.1, blah blah blah, right? And so it'll just kind of adjust as you go. Then you can do exponential curve where you put like a percent instead. So like let's say I didn't have much faith in the project. I'll put like a low percentage so I get like a tighter range where it'll just go like buy in like a you see this is like a 0.025 window. And then if I kind of believe in it longer term, like I'll just kind of allow for it to maximize for upside, right? So like up to 25% and then goes all the way up. But I'm still experimenting, right? And it's something that you can kind of experiment with as you do it. Just kind of change it as you go along, see what works for you, see what collections you want to do it with. But just get out there and try it because it's really not that difficult. Like that's all you do. And then, select your NFTs. It'll ask you for like an amount of ETH. So I said
Like, how
20, right?
many NFTs do you need, like, to actually execute this? Do you need
You can do it
like quite a few?
with as little as one. Depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to do it with one, like you can kind of DCA in if you think like, oh,
Mm.
like I think this collection is good, but I want to buy if it dips below this. So you buy one and then you set up the pool with that, right? And that way, like it'll buy on the way down, or you just sell out your one NFT and then like the buy range will still be open. And you can do it the other way too, where you put in like 0.001 and then all NFTs, and then you put your sell range, and then it'll just sell and then buy if you got sells in the first place, right? So you can kind of still set up the two-sided pools with essentially nothing on the other side, right? If you want to try to earn the fees that way. So I'd say you know, if you're just trying to capitalize on like a quick flip or like like a couple days flip, I'd say probably you want at least three, unless you're trying to DCA in or DCA out, right? That way you can at least get some action going, and set up a
And I
range
just
there.
know I'm gonna set something wrong, and I'm gonna like go away for a day, come back, and I'm gonna have 0 ETH and 100 3D birds.
Dude, and that's the important part, right? Like it's a good thing you mentioned that because what you'll notice that I do is I'll withdraw from my pool, right? Because you don't want to leave too much ETH sitting in the pool unless it's a good collection, right?
Mhm.
Because rugs can happen anytime, and if God forbid like it rugged, all your ETH is going to be gone. Like people are going to dump into your pool, right?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and so like let me show you one of the
But
opposite
can
extremes.
I can I ask you
But
a quick question, real quick?
mhm.
Do you have like a set amount of ETH in that pool, so like it's not gonna keep drawing ETH from your wallet, right? Like,
Right, right.
okay, like that's not a possibility if I don't like. Does that make sense? Like, if my wallet had
Yep,
5 ETH, but I only put like 1 ETH to the pool, I'm not gonna look at my wallet and have 0 ETH. It would just wipe my pool. Is that
exactly.
how it works?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
But
That makes me feel
also,
better.
you earn fees, right? With your pools. So eventually, like let's say you started with zero ETH in your pool, or sorry, like 0.001 just to get it started, and then you get enough trades. Like eventually, even if you started, if you get back to the same amount of NFTs, you'll have ETH left, right? And so it'll
Gotcha.
buy with that ETH left. And so, like this is one of the nuttier pools that I've seen on the screen. Like this is in Goom.
Webverse.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember.
Incum.eth that made
Oh, okay,
this.
gotcha.
Yeah, and this pool has done like almost 500 ETH of volume at
Mm.
2.5% fees. So, they're
Wow.
it's really good if like you believe in a collection and you don't even care, like you want to forget about it like for 3 months, which I think is the case with them. Like
Yeah.
they just set it up instead of it sitting in their wallet. Why not earn fees in the meantime? You know.
So
So how
from a
much? How much
collection
has it?
side,
Oh, you got it, Ken. You got it.
now I was gonna say from a collection side, could the project founders do this? Could they set
Yes,
this up for their
and
and get the royalties?
that's what really caused it to take off, right? Base schools, right? They're the first ones to set up their own bootstrap their own liquidity pool, and I think their pool has done insanely well, right? It's a 204 ETH of volume, and they started it, and it got like instant. drained like from point one to point four floor, right? Uh, so all their NFTs kind of like disappeared. But then when you trade back down, that's when you realize those fees, right? And you kind of end up with the same amount of NFTs that you started with, or even more, and you end up with more ETH as well. So like think about it like Chris in the coffee shop, right? Like if he buys if he buy if he buys something for like hold on, let me try to think of a better analogy. So like if you just have sells or you have buys, right? It's just a markup like on your fees, right? Like you don't actually realize anything. You just charge a higher price, right? And that's kind of fees in a different sense. But when we're talking about fees here, like we're thinking more like Uniswap, right? Like if you've ever done like V3 liquidity pools there, where you set an ETH or ETH USD range or ETH ape or whatever pair you're using, like you want it to trade both ways. Otherwise, you're not really realizing the fees. You would have been better off just holding and selling or
Yeah.
laddering. You're just laddering out basically, right? Like if you get only sells or only buys, right? So I'll give you a good example. Like, let's say you had two NFTs in your pool, right? And it's one ETH floor, and you charge 10% fees. Like you're gonna be selling. Sorry, let's say it was one NFT, right? So one NFT, one ETH floor, 10% fees. Your buy range is going to be zero point 0.9 and your sell range is going to be 1.1. You don't actually realize any like fee unless you end up with one NFT in your pool in that sense, right? So let's say you do one buy and one sell, then all of a sudden, you gain zero point 0.2 ETH and you have the same amount of NFTs and ETH that you started with, right?
Mm.
Mm. Oh, I see. I'm starting to get this now. It was a little complicated at first, but it's starting to kick in. Okay.
Yeah,
Is there
Okay,
yeah.
I
any?
see now.
Can you walk us? I don't know this. We probably won't have a visual for this. About your through your familiar pool, like kind of how like whether you thought it was successful or not successful, and just kind of like how that.
Yeah, I wish I could see like closed pools. Oh wait, yeah, you could. Never mind. Actually, I do have the pools here. So this was my
And yeah, this
pool.
is this is incredible information. Risky was saying fire info. Thank you so much for sharing the knowledge.
Yeah, anytime. Like I
As
did
always.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I did these were the things I set. I this was one of like the first bigger pools I did. I think I bought 15, put it in the pool, set my range down to buy at like 0.06, which it hit. I think that was a low. Like I had all my ETH drained and was all in familiars, but I had it all the way up to zero point 0.3 as well. So um I did 13 ETH of volume with 6.3% delta, so the difference between each NFT. So like, if one sold at point 0.1, then the next would sell at like 0.1063, blah blah blah, like goes all the way up. And then with the swap fee tacked on top, so that's more than 1.063. But I started with 2.5%, and then I realized like this is getting too much like volume, and people are paying. Like I looked at other pools, people were paying 5%, 6%, and so I was like, you know what, let me raise it to 5, and then eventually I raised it to 7.5%. And so I think that worked really well. Like it definitely ranged a lot. So one of the things that I look for are these big botting groups, right? Like in a lot of alpha groups. One of them is very well known for botting, and they're good at what they do, but what comes with botting is bricking,
Yeah.
right? So you gotta. I already saw like this had a good amount of like smart buyers or notable buyers like Def Beef, a bunch of others that I thought could maybe catalyze this if they ever tweeted about it. And so I was like, yeah, I'll wait on this for like 3 to 7 days, right? That should be enough time for the botters to brick. They get out, and then like if a tweet comes out, like it's just gonna explode upwards. And I think one of the curated artists did tweet about it like on day three or something, and that kind of made the volume go up. But you want to look for something that has like like a good project, or a decent project that has good legs that can maintain its volume. So that kind of worked out well for me. There were definitely pools that did better. I think I saw one that had like 60, 70 of volume, but the more NFTs you have in your pool, the lower you can set your delta, right? And then you can kind of capitalize on like little micro ticks like you saw with those Webiverse ones. right? Like it just goes all the way up and all the way down. And so this was pre-gem integration, and now that gem is integrated with SudoSwap, like it's just way more volume coming in. And so I still have three familiars. I ended up like cutting off the below zero point 0.1 range once I got enough volume and I saw like, all right, most of the breakers are out. Like, so let me just minimize my downside there. And then, I just continued that pattern up. So I cut it at 0.15 as well once it got to a certain point. And then eventually I'm like, I'm gonna keep three as runners because I saw like they have some battle system in their roadmap or, in their code or something that maybe down the line that'll turn into something. So
So and you
yeah.
made 13 ETH of volume in your pool particularly,
Yeah.
and you had like let's say a medium of between 2.5 and 7.5%. So let's
hmm
say like an average of 5%. So like you had would it be correct to say like you get 5% of that 13 ETH just from running the pool?
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
so,
Yeah.
it's still the same like with Uniswap. So if even if you make fees, like if the floor dips below whatever range you bought in at, like you're going to be losing money unless you made a lot of fees, right? So you typically want it to be either at or above where you started the pool at. Um, in the first place, it'll just mitigate that loss if you are in a loss position. Um, but yeah, like anything like with 10 ETH plus a volume, like you're probably making money no matter what, right? Like for
Yeah.
example, my Phoenixes, like I already took out more than I made, more than I put in, and so the rest is just gravy at this point.
Sweet.
Mm.
Um, one more question. I know I've kind of been asking a lot.
No, no, keep
Um,
going. Yeah.
w- do people have to like find your pool particularly, or they just kind of like they find one of your NFTs that's in your pool and they just happen to buy that one and it goes to your pool? Like, I'm trying to like wrap my head around like if if kind of the people that know about this are the ones that are like generating the revenue for each other's pools, or if like a random person went on Sudo Swap, could they accidentally buy from your pool? Does that make?
Well,
I know it's kind of a weird
yeah,
way to word
so
it.
you can buy directly from pools, right? That's useful if you notice an arbitrage opportunity, like there's rares in the pool or like value traits. That is already happening, right? Like you can browse pools, and that's probably a good use of your time for like some of these collections. For example, with the Phoenixes, right? Like waters were going for more, so I think like a lot more than the floor. Like it was 0.05 more. Even now, I think it's still like let me see what the floor is. Floor is zero point 0.1. Waters are
Yeah, I was gonna ask about rares in
waters are
this whole.
0.13. Yeah, so this is better for floors, right? You can set different pools for rares, but yeah, to answer your question, Chris, it auto market makes for you, right? So when you do the sell, this will go to whatever the highest offer pool is at the time, and then the next one will go to that next pool, and then the third one will go to the next pool after that, right? So same thing when you buy, right? Like if you notice, like there's these little icons in the top left that shows you what pool you're buying from. Like as you start to click on them, it'll automatically show you the next one, the next lowest price from a different pool, right? It could be the same pool if they set their range like super tight or even like equal, but like usually you're going to be buying from different pools if you're buying multiple,
Got you. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh,
right? Same
nice.
same thing with Uniswap, right? And so that's why I'm really bullish on it because it's bringing like liquidity that's much needed to NFTs, stabilizing floors, um, providing fees for the users in the meantime, kind of incentivizing all you know with with the added bonus of maybe there's an airdrop down the line just for using it, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so like the automatic nature of it is really attractive because like I can just if I ladder something on OpenSea, like I'll have to freaking lower everything. Like if I, want to adjust my range, right? I'll have to go and have to go through like 20 NFTs. If I have 20 in my ladder, like, oh God, I gotta lower price, lower price, lower price. But this one, you just adjust your percent range, right? Or you withdraw and you start a new pool, and um, you can do it that way.
This video is gonna have 100 views, and it's gonna be just me. rewatching it.
You and
Try,
me,
try,
bro.
try to soak it in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like it's still like working out the kinks, right? The user interface is slow. It's like it's ugly looking, but it works well for what it does, right? Like so, the last sale was probably not an hour ago. Like it's gonna lag a bit, and so what I do is like when I make these pools, like I track those wallets as like a bookmark, right? Like this was my Phoenix pool that I just closed, but I'll look at this like for the activity and see like am I getting volume? Because like when you start not getting volume with any pool, whether it's in Uniswap or this or you know you're staking on a DeFi game or something, like you don't really want to be in it if there's no volume, right? Because then you're not making any fees. You're better off just listing them or rotating your money somewhere else or holding them and seeing what happens in the long term. But yeah, there are some downsides, right? Like as you probably know, Chris and Kennedy, like there's impermanent loss with pools, right?
yeah.
If one goes up a lot, like you were probably better off holding, and you probably could have realized better profits from holding. So that's like with any of these tokens, with any NFT, right? Like conviction is always gonna beat out um, laddering or DCing out. But I always preach like you don't need to capture 100% of the top. You just want like 75% of it, right? And this will allow you to exit in those positions. Like imagine if you pull digis, right? Daikaku, you were way better off holding. But at the same time, like if you wanted to exit and you set your pool up for a nice curve, which went all the way up to like let's say 20, like you would have captured most of that profit still, right?
Mm.
While minimizing your downside.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask, it creates a new wallet for you every time, or there's a wallet that your NFTs go to that you have to sign for it to go to?
So it's a new wallet every time for each pool that you do.
Okay.
So like for example, this is the one for my Phoenixes. Um, there's a different wallet for different Phoenix wallet, and then because I had withdrawn and started the pool again earlier this morning to see like maybe if I tighten the range, I'll get some more volume, and I did for a little bit, and then I closed it. But yeah, like you don't have like the private keys to those wallets or anything. It's just like the contract is created from you for you. So like let me go to your scan and show you like I see like it'll say like the contract creator is you, right? For the one that made
Oh, okay.
that thing. And then it'll show up as like a pseudo swap pair factory.
I see. Is there any security risk to any of this that you can
Not that
see?
I not that I know of, especially because you're transferring the NFTs to a different wallet. So I could see like maybe a cause for concern if it was on your wallet, though I am not that much of a dev or have that deep a knowledge of the workings of Solidity code. So you'd have to ask someone else, and I'll probably ask some people that I know. But I think we would have heard about it by now if there was a vulnerability there.
Hmm. Yeah, this all sounds good. It sounds because again, there was a we were part of the army that was going against SudoSwap coming around and taking away fees for the creators and all this. But from what you explained, it's kind of it's almost good for the space a little bit to balance things out and keep liquidity in the NFT space. So I will have to take a look at it and rewatch this video, of course, and try to grasp what the hell you're talking about. But yeah, it does
Right.
seem pretty useful.
I mean,
Uh,
you hit the nail on the head, right? Like keep the keep the money or the liquidity within NFTs. That's an argument for it. You probably saw like the Ragnarok meta tweets
oh
where
my god,
they're paying their people exorbitant amounts of money and
millions, bro.
millions, and they lost millions like with the treasury funds. Like bro, how much did they make in royalties? Like let me just check on OpenSea, right? Like they did 20K of volume,
Oh my
right?
god.
And the royalty is 5%. So, what is that, like 400 ETH, right? That's like some of these creators. Wait, my math is bad. 20,000, it's 1,000 ETH of volume, or sorry, of royalties. Like some of these creators don't really deserve that money, because all
Yeah.
too often there's like rugs, or um, they just mismanage the money, and so like
I
I'm
mean, they're
definitely,
kids after
yeah,
all, man. A lot of them are kids.
I'm definitely
So,
on the side though, like, we got to incentivize the creators and builders and artists in any way we can, but I think that there are other ways to do that. So I don't really have a fully formed opinion on it because I kind of see both sides, but I think it's overall good for this space. And
mm,
I think the NFT space will figure it out. You know, um, we'll come to whatever that agreement is, and there's always going to be people that skirt the outsides of it, but money's money, right? And at the end of the day, people are going to maximize what they get.
Yeah, I think you're ahead of the
yeah.
curve, man. I need to learn it, and yeah, I literally will be watching, some rewatching some of this to just try to like interpret it more. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. We before we get too far into the video, I do want to talk about, at least even if it's briefly, about the main topic. I don't know if anybody clicked, just to be sure to hit on that real quick, on the Moonbirds being on chain. Do you have any opinions on that, JJ? I know that's kind of a pretty abrupt change, but just before we ended the
Hmm.
video, I didn't want to. Twitter does not allow
That's
you
my
to
bad.
change.
Yeah.
No, 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 man. I would much rather talk about this. And Twitter
Yeah.
doesn't. Twitter doesn't allow you to change the title. I can change it on YouTube, and so I don't want people on Twitter to click it and be like, "Hey, they never talked about Moonbirds
Hmm.
being on chain." So just, even if it's briefly, do you have any opinions about that? I kind of have a thread pulled up. Not really a big deal, but
Yeah. I really like it. Um, that's probably like one of the only things that's been good in my opinion from their news cycle, right? Everything's
You didn't
been
like the
just.
fanny packs?
I did. I actually like the fan packs.
Oh, you
Bro,
did. Oh,
I
nice.
dude, I went to that Moonbirds party. I didn't even pick one up. I'm so pissed, But
wow.
yeah, like I didn't even know they were giving them out, and I see like Saint. You met Saint Kennedy, I think, and like
Yes, I
he
did.
got one. He doesn't even have a Moonbird. I'm like, bro, what? Like, he's like, yeah, I love this fanny pack. It was Lululemon. It was nice, man. And so
Oh, okay. Not the
kind of
socks though.
not the socks. But yeah, like I think moving on chain is good, just because you want to you want to kind of keep everything like outside of the possibility that like it disappears, right? Like IPFS could go down. The chain will live as long as the chain is active, right? So as
Mm,
long as it's there, like people don't have to worry about their metadata getting changed. Like one of my favorite projects back in the day was like Secret
nice.
Raccoon Society, right?
Oh, the
I don't know if
raccoons.
you remember that. Like I loved it because they did like an apocalypse event where they changed the metadata for all their NFTs. They just became bones. So what I would do is I would just go to one random one when I was like feeling bored or like unhappy, like I missed a mint or something. I'd do it on stream. I'd refresh metadata of a live one and kill it, So
Oh my god.
turn it into a pile of bones, It was a monster.
Oh, damn.
But yeah, you don't have to worry about that kind of thing, right? If your thing is on
Mm,
chain, it does make gas fees more expensive, right?
yeah.
Just because it's a lot of data to be stored on chain, but I think it's a good thing in the long term. I think
Mm,
that's where every project should probably go, unless it's like it doesn't make sense for it to do so. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are like ones maybe like you burn a token for some utility or something like that. Doesn't really make sense to keep that on chain,
Yeah, I
in
think
my
I've talked about
opinion.
mm,
with another person about like how
Hmm.
like gaming NFTs, it wouldn't really make sense to run the entire game on chain because it would just be
Hmm.
expensive and a lot.
Yeah,
So like maybe have like the core on chain, but have like the, or like realize the upgrades on chain, but like maybe not everything on chain.
exactly.
Like
Cause man, you remember EtherWorks? Like gas was expensive. Like
Yeah,
we're paying a
yeah.
shit ton. That we had an orc DAO in MBHQ, and like there were 4 or 5 of us, and we had maybe like 50 orcs, and paid probably like 10 ETH in just fees before they moved to Polygon, right? And so yeah, it gets pretty expensive, and um, so yeah, it doesn't make sense for things like games.
Mm,
But but
uh,
yeah, I sorry. I like that they're going with trying to protect their trademark or exploring more options with it. I don't like what they're doing with mythics, but I think most everyone didn't either. Like you can see the market react live, like on the floor price, right? Um, burning 25 a day is kind of great. Burning 25 a day is kind of crazy because oddities, I think, are 10K collection as well, right? So I guess it's sort of deflationary in that aspect, which is cool. So, but it's essentially the same thing. Like people complain that all projects are doing, right? It's just a companion, like uh, like a gutter clone, right?
yeah.
And doesn't really give anything. Not to say that they won't provide value down the line. I hope that they do. They just raised 50 million because God knows they need more money. Like,
Of
uh,
course, they need more money.
I'm
Oh
just
my
baffled
god.
by the direction they're going, and um, I do think that gold rewards, which should be in like a month or so, is probably like a make or break point um, for a lot of people.
Mm. Are they gonna give out Lambos to everybody or what?
Bro, I mean, might be freaking socks, or gloves.
Oh,
Those
that'd
should
suck if they got gloves, man.
be a holiday themed one, advent calendar.
Oh my god.
Right in time for Christmas.
Yeah,
But
with all go ahead.
like Grails too did decent, I think. It's just it's really confusing. Like a lot of these traits have insane value for the Moonbirds, and then some have like no value or very little value, right? Um, but I'm curious to see where they go. I still have a price in mind for where I want to get in for like a Moonbird. It was 10 until the CCO drama happened. But probably want to go lower than that, and I don't know that it does go lower than that in the near future.
Hmm. With all these gas fee talk, how do you feel about the merge? Do you think that's gonna change any of this, in your opinion, or do you think the
So
price gonna go up, or it's gonna
I
pump like Vitalik?
I don't know. I'm kind of torn between it's priced in and it's not priced in. Can't get a clear sign from crypto Twitter or anywhere. And that was my weakness, was not really understanding broader markets in crypto. Right. When the crash happened, like I lost a lot of money because I was overexposed to ETH, and I won't make that mistake in the future. Something like if you watch Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary always says like, I make mistakes all the time. I don't make the same mistake twice though. So that's what I try to strive for. Like, that drawdown hurt real bad, but I learned you got to pay attention to what the markets are doing. And right now, I think a lot of it is priced in for the merge, but I don't think 100%. So it's gonna really depend on what it means, right? Like if you notice like nothing changes, and that I think like it'll probably drop a bit because I think gas doesn't start lowering until they do the next step, which is the sharding, I think, and that could be months away. I don't know, but in the meantime, like if they're reducing emissions, I don't think it's going to be high enough at this point in time. I know people will argue like it's going to be super deflationary at that point, but there's already a ton of supply, so it's going to take time for that to be realized, in my opinion, right? For the rest of the market, like there's not going to be a supply shock anytime soon on ETH, right? Like
Mhm.
like Bitcoin had those like halvenings and makes sense, but yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes for the rest of the market. It's a good event. I hope it works out because bullish long term for ETH, right? And if it does well there, like I think we're in good shoes. Um, or sorry, we're in a good place just because the rest of it sounds really nice as well.
Yeah. Do you think gas fees are gonna go down and more things will be on chain if that's the case?
Yeah, I do think so. Again, after the sharding or whatever that is, I'll have to go brush up on my understanding of the merge because there's like six different phases or something. I remember
Yeah.
Vitalik had posted it a while ago, but yeah, it should be overall bullish, but then you have those staked ETH too, the Lido ETH, which should come out maybe 6 months from now or so, or sorry, 6 months from the merge. And then you have Mount Gox, the Bitcoin that all those users lost years and years ago that they're gonna get, I think around the same time as well. So there's a lot of factors that play in, and macro looks pretty bad. Inflation, whatever. But I do think that with the midterms coming up, like I don't think we're gonna see too big a move until after the midterms, just because, I think not to get too political, but if you're the party in power, which is Democrats, like you're gonna try to make it look as good to your voter base, right? Like, economy's not crashing. They just gave student loan forgiveness, right, to a lot of people,
Yeah.
which helped a lot of my friends. People that changes. It's a big difference in their lives, so they're more likely to go vote for Joe Biden, and
Help me.
yeah, yeah,
Well, I
Help
exactly.
think
me
I don't know. I
too.
don't. I don't believe it until I see it. So when I actually see it, like go through my account, it'll help me.
That's the right mindset, right? Like, I don't think I'm gonna get it just because I filed my taxes. I should have waited till
Ah.
October, but at the same time, like whatever, I'm fine paying my share of taxes.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
pretty.
paying our share, JJ.
I'm pretty
Jay,
progressive leaning, so like I
yeah.
don't mind.
You
Like I
know,
don't want to shut the
okay.
door behind me. Like
You.
I like helping people, so
Thank you,
um,
JJ. Your 100
yeah.
ETH sale helped pay my helped pay my student debt.
Oh,
I'm
but
just
dude,
kidding,
like
man.
I
I'm just kidding,
will.
man.
no, I mean it's good,
Hey,
and
I
then
sorry.
oh, sorry, it could be realized down the line, right? I don't think it'll be
Yeah.
realized right away, but it should factor into the economy, like when payments do resume, whenever that happens.
Oh, by the way, for the record, when I was saying I'll believe when I see it, that's just like my motto for life. It's not because I don't think they'll go
Yeah,
through with it. It's just because like I feel like everyone on Earth will get theirs paid except for me for some weird reason, and that stuff happens to me. So until like I actually see it, then that's what I mean by that. Hey, I do have a question, and we are kind of getting to the end of the show. I'm not going to pry too much on it, but I know MVHQ has been here for a year. Ken and I are patiently waiting to maybe jump into whatever you guys have planned in the future. When
They
I
announced
guess,
it.
oh, it was announced. I didn't see it. Okay, well,
Yeah.
what is it? Let's talk about it. If it's announced,
um,
I'm.
one second, I just wanna. I saw Risky Trades put a comment, but yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
yeah. He was
I agree
commenting
with
about
Risky
the.
Trades. Like it's good for my friends, and I'm happy for the people it helps. But like, I do think it was a political move, right? Like, I think it's gonna cause
It
more
is.
inflation. Like,
Uh,
they're just printing money. Like the Reduce Inflation Act, or Inflation Reduction Act was actually printing more money as well. So, um, it's gonna be a tough battle, which is why I think
sure.
macro looks pretty bad. But yeah, good point
But
there.
now for the more important stuff, MVHQ.
but Biden's approval rating went way up after he
Yeah, dude.
he
Yeah.
promised to do this.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you, it's political, man.
it
And
is. It is.
whatever, like, power to whoever's in charge. Like, they're gonna make it political. But yeah, like, what's it called with MBHQ? You're talking about the token mint for the future.
Sorry, that cracked me up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So they didn't announce a price yet. It was met with a lot of FUD, I think, from the community, but just because the communication wasn't too clear, right? So current holders of the token will be guaranteed to mint their token
Okay.
um, in the future, but they'll have to pay X price, right? And then I think their mistake is saying X price because you want to make it kind of clear, and they're like, oh, market conditions will change, but at least say like under like an ETH or under $2,000 or under $1,000 or whatever, because if you put X, right, people are gonna be like, well. X could be 3 ETH. I'm not gonna pay
Yeah.
fucking three for fast. I
Yeah.
love you guys, but so they're doing a town hall today. I think maybe in a couple hours, but they should resolve that. I think they have the community's best intentions in mind. So I do think that they're going to do right and change some things. Like they did say X would be the same for public as it is for the holders, but the public has to like apply, similar to underground and get approved to get in. And I think a lot of community wants X to be lower for the holders, right? Like why wouldn't you reward your holders? And I agree with that, but see what they say, because at the end of the day they're making money off royalties only, and it's not too much. It was a lot during the bull, but during this bear, like kind of
Yeah.
pales in comparison. So I get it, they deserve some funds, right? To charge X. And I have whale status there, so I don't have to worry about any of
You're
that
good to
shit.
go.
I'm good. And
It,
cool thing is, at least my CPA, which is PK, you might have seen him. Like, you should get him on the show, by the way, to fucking talk about taxes, because that guy's crushing it
yeah.
and knows all the tax stuff, and I think that would be super helpful to everyone else. But he told me, like, yay, that's something you can write off, is whatever you paid for passes. And yeah, it's going against my taxes,
You
so
need to
it's not.
connect me, man. I'm
Yeah.
gonna need help with that this year so bad. Like my tax accountant that I have for like my business is like he's
Hmm.
my crypto accountant, and he's also like just
Old.
yeah. I don't know what better way to put it. I don't like to say he's old, so he doesn't keep up with it, but like he just he's all paper. He's traditional. Tradition. I like the word traditional better. But
Hmm.
yeah,
How old is he,
it's
Chris?
all on paper. Probably in the 70s. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
and again, but I mean, like, there's people there's in their 70s that are probably good into tech, and they're probably like know a lot of this stuff. He's just not one of those. He's very
Hmm.
traditional,
Right. Right.
and he has it
Okay.
all on paper and stuff. So I definitely need to get like a CPA specifically for crypto. Um, yeah, man, I'm watching though for sure. Like, I'm very interested in MVHQ, like getting in. I know like some of my friends. Or like even speculating, do I buy MVHQ Pass now so that maybe I'll have like a discount or something for the
Hmm.
next one? What is it? Is it obviously I'm not on the team or anything? Just curious, like is it discussed on like integrating a monthly fee to like I know you guys want to keep it private, more exclusive, but like I don't know, 1,000 people or how make up a number, how X amount of people can
Twelve
pay this
hundred.
much 1,200 people can pay this much a month. That way you have like that guaranteed passive income. Like is that in the range of possibilities?
I think that's something that they discussed and something they wanted to stay away from, just because of how they've done the NFT drop in the past. Maybe they even had language on it like that they wouldn't want to do that. But again, it's going to depend on what's going to come up in the town hall today. So we'll see what they say on that. But yeah, I think it's tough to say whether the best time to buy is now or later. I definitely don't think it is now, just because it ran up a bit due to the news. And so 4 months is quite a long time. So I think there'll be some lag periods, and if the market gets worse, or crypto crashes, or NFTs kind of see a little dull period, like you can probably scoop it on the cheaper. Um, just my opinion. Yeah.
So 4 month
Mm.
4 months is I'm sorry, I just didn't see the announcement. 4 months is when the next phase will come out,
Next
the next
year.
set of passes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I think the mint is before then. I don't think they set an exact date yet, but it's sometime, between now and then. And obviously, like the longer that it sits, like the passes will kind of just uh, reach their
sure.
uh, reach their stable point.
Yeah, man. Cool. I'll be
Okay.
saving up.
Saving up.
Be watching.
Uh, yeah, I was gonna see if I could find the announcement because I remember. Wow, do you guys have so many collabs, man? I'm trying to scroll down on their Twitter because I
I should
remember the announcement.
Yeah, I should
And
clarify. I'm not on the team like I used to be.
yes,
I was admin, but very vocal member of the community there. And so like I had those conversations about the token price back when I was admin, and I talked to them a bunch. But I do think that it's still fluid, which is good, right? So they can see what happens today and then adjust based on how strongly the community feels, right?
mm, Yeah, you guys. Well, they do have a lot of collabs that I can't really find it on their Twitter. Like I scrolled all the way down. Wait, I probably just missed it. I'm tripping. Either way, so you, JJ, you are part of quite a few
Hmm.
alpha groups.
Yeah, a
Yeah, I'm
lot.
gonna have to put you on the yeah. I'm gonna have to put you on the spot, man. What's your top three alpha groups in this space?
Bro, I mean, you know
Yeah,
number one, right? You can tell me number one. This is underground, 100% underground. Underground's on
yeah, I've
top.
heard that a lot.
Their floor
I hear that a
reflects it.
lot.
I've been pushing people into underground since day zero, day -5, right? Like I've advised Vopa a bit on like the pricing of like the like how they pay their mods and stuff like that, and what makes a good group. A lot of it is them, though. I'm not taking any credit for what they're doing, but they're just on top of everything, right? And if like there was one group that you wanted to have like and not have any other group, it would be that one in my opinion. No shade to MBHQ, which is my home, my baby. Like I cultivated that community in there, I helped to shape it. But underground's just right now on another level, right? Like they have Trey in there, leading
Yes.
it, who if he buys something now, like it moves markets, right? So it's kind of, they got Vopa, who's made a lot and does really well, and just lots of strong members of the community there that just provide and share information, and they're just on top of everything, like things that I would have never looked at and no other alpha group is looking at, like wizards, for example. Like they found wizards before most groups, I think, did. And so they're just on another level in that sense. And then number two, I'd say like 1A 1B, right, is Hideout NFT. That one's a
Hideout.
closed group, invite only, run by Wicked, and harassment you met in New York City. But Wicked
Yeah.
is the ex, I don't know if he's ex pro gamer, but he's a pro gamer. He played like competitive League of Legends and a bunch of other games. But yeah, they do really well in their community. And then number three, I would say, is MBHQ. So like I'd sprinkle that in there, because there's just no other voice chat like it, right? And that's where a lot of the free flow of information comes in as well. So you can always count on a voice chat being in there, pretty much all hours of the day. And so, not that they're bad at alpha. That's not what I'm trying to say. Like, it's just that underground is just on another level, right? No shade again. Throw.
Yeah. So I also saw that I think they found a little bit of a like a allow list thing for the Phoenixes that just dropped
Yeah, dude.
recently.
I already had a allow list. You know, I should have just monkey brain me. I should have just went to my burners and just try to get a list on all those. But yeah, they got a lot of their members in that way, and that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, right? Like they just have those edges somehow. They're just some of the hardest grinders out there, and sharing their information.
And Hideout is free.
It's free, but it's application only, right? And invite only. So application opens up every now and then. Um, I think they just did one last month, so should open up in the next month or two. But they reserve the right to kick you out anytime, and that's why they make it free, right? So like if you're inactive, or like you're not contributing anything, like then they'll boot you, right? So that's kind of Wicca's philosophy. Like he hates paid groups, right? Like um, power to him, because I think like if he launched, his pass could be 5 ETH easy, right? But yeah, like they just believe in a different mindset, in terms of sharing of information.
So who could have invite somebody? Could a member invite, or the team
They
has to invite?
The team has to
Oh,
invite, and then there's the application process as well.
okay, yeah. Because this is my first time hearing about it. It looks, if you rate it 1B, it's gotta be it's gotta be up there. So
Of course,
I'm gonna keep my eye on it.
this is the rating of the groups I'm in, right? I'm sure there's some
Yes.
secret society that is like tier zero, ahead of all these groups, right? Or like something I've never heard of.
Yeah. Before we go, I was wondering, do you have any alpha on like Daigaku or Renga? You know why that Gaku is so high right now? Like, what's going on over there?
Bro, I mean, I'm kicking myself for that because like, eyes forward as always, as I usually say, but I don't know why. I just faded. Like, no good reason to. I could have bought one at least. I had the liquid for it. I just was like nah. I mean, I'm stubborn.
Nah.
I don't want to pay point eight or whatever it was on day one. Like it's just silly when I think about it. But the guy, Gabriel Layden, who is CEO of Limit Break, like he's run a company called Machine Zone, which is responsible for Game of War, which is one of the most successful mobile games in existence, right? And so,
Hmm.
like, if there's anyone to really bring blockchain gaming into the space, it's probably going to be someone like that. And you see the VC funding that they just raised, which was 200 million, right? Just absolute
Mm.
insane amount of money. This guy's tweeting like fucking every 10 seconds with memes and stuff, like how you're gonna hate yourself for fading, and I feel the burn every time. Like it's he's doing a good job of driving up hype. But I'll say this though, I don't know that anything that can come out Friday will stop the floor from tanking. Because there's just so much speculation on top of speculation built in, right? At this point, I'm not saying that it's not worth that down the line, but I just cannot see what they'll come out with that will keep the price this way, right? Like,
Mm.
unless they airdrop you like their tokens, and you get recurring in-game currency and the game is ready tomorrow. Like, I can't see it being worth that much.
Mm. And my very last question: how much of the NFT space is in the hands of A16Z?
Yeah, man, it's them. Paradigm is in a lot of stuff as well. Three Arrows is dead now, I guess. So I'd say a good chunk of the space, probably more than we'd like to admit.
Yeah, there isn't a lot of funds for a lot of things, man. Like, jeez, every time somebody raises funds, it's them.
Yeah, for
It's
real.
always them.
Them,
Like,
Animoca or someone else that's always popping up.
yeah, that's crazy. But that's pretty much all the questions I have. Chris, do you have more for JJ?
Yeah, Hideout NFT. Is it just Hideout NFT on Twitter? Like, I just
Yeah.
want to make sure
Yes.
that this is the right
Yep.
one
That's
right here.
that's the
Yeah.
one.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I just wanted to make sure I followed the right one. No, that's all I got, man. JJ, this was awesome. Thank you for the alpha or thank you for the information on, well, the alpha on Hideout, but the information on using your NFTs for pools. Like that's incredible, man. I'm gonna go back and watch that. If you're watching this video right now and you didn't hear that section, go back and watch that section of JJ showing us about pools. That's really all I got, man. JJ, thanks again for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's always a
Right
pleasure,
on.
man.
I have to give you a round of applause, man. Thank you. Thank you for
Hey,
stopping
thank
by,
you.
man.
Yeah, hope to
Every
see you
time you come
guys.
through,
Yeah,
oh,
hope to see y'all
yeah,
in Basel. I'll be there this year.
Miami.
So, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. When is it? Do you know?
I think it's December 1st to
It's
3rd or something.
December. Okay, I might, I
Hey,
might
don't
go.
don't commit now. I mean, NFTs might be dead by then. I don't know.
That's true.
I know, man. You never know. But every time you come through to the show, JJ, we always learn something, man. We like you should come by any time, man. You have an open door here, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank
thank
you,
you. Yeah, I
especially on
mean,
that pseudo swap, man. That's wild. I had no clue, none
Yeah,
about how it worked.
yeah, I mean, I love talking to y'all. Y'all are great hosts. Met Kennedy in person. Really chill dude. Um, yeah, we had a great time in New York and LA. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's just yeah, I'm happy to share information all the time, and you guys are great medium to do it, and love what you guys are doing with the show, and
appreciate it.
just keep at it.
Yeah, man.
thank you,
Thanks so much.
man. Yeah, keep trading, man. I see you're very busy, man. You know, it's kind of weird. Talking to you all this time, I kind of forgot that you were
Dude, I
very
was
high ranked,
I
JJ.
was I was asleep for like 2 months though, so I don't blame you. And then when I come, like when I come back, I just come back fighting. Swing.
Yeah, like Vitalik's bulge, huh?
Nah. That's
He's
that's
gonna-
holding up the market right now, bro. Don't even like I can't be compared to
Oh man,
Well, all right. Thank you for joining us, JJ.
Hey, anytime, man.
appreciate it. Thanks
Thanks,
guys.
Kennedy.
Thanks guys
Thanks,
for
Chris.
watching. Yeah,
All right,
thanks JJ.
take
See you
care.
next
Thanks
time.
everyone
Everybody
watching.
subscribe to the channel, man. If you're watching right now, peace out.